73.
No, don't pick that dog. Don't pick that dog. Come over here. Here, you want me. You want me. Here, look, I'm cute. I'm fluffy. Here, you can pet me. You can feed me dog food or a bone. Or a bone. I like bones. Okay, here, watch me roll over. I'm rolling over. Here, watch. I can stand on 2 feet. Oh, my head. Wait a second. Let me try that again. Ah, I did it again. Wait a second. Look, outside the cage, I'm very good at that. I'm real good. I can stand on 2 feet outside the cage. Oh, good choice. You made an excellent choice. An excellent choice.
Looking for a pet? Try the ASPCA. We've got all kinds.
Wake up right with your own personal hotel-style wake-up call. Call 540-WAKE. That's 540-WAKE. Get out of bed and get ahead. Call 540-WAKE. That's 540-WAKE. Places to go, people to see. Don't be late. Call 540-WAKE for a convenient hotel-style wake-up call. Just $2 from touch-tone phones. Call right now and move up in the world.
You may never use a public bathroom again after the next Oprah.
Good morning from New York. I'm Thalia Shuras.
And I'm Mark Mullen. What are you writing there?
I don't know.
In the news at this hour, showing up the U.S. strength in the Gulf, Kurdish refugees coming to the United States, and the mission to bring astronaut Shannon Lucid home. Also coming up in this half hour, our Gizmo Guy checks out some new ones, and why Harry Shearer misses the Cold War. Top of the news now. Here's Thalia.
Thanks, Mark. From Kuwait to Saudi Arabia to Turkey, Defense Secretary William Perry is paying calls on America's Gulf War allies. They have been less than supportive of the current U.S. operation in Iraq. Perry is asking Kuwait to allow 3,000 more U.S. troops on its soil, but there has been no decision yet. Here's ABC's Linda Moore.
As the USS Enterprise, with about 75 U.S. warplanes on board, made its way through the Suez Canal en route to the Persian Gulf, American officials were saying they did not expect renewed provocation from Saddam Hussein.
The expansion of the no-fly zone was designed to do one thing and one thing only: to increase our capacity to monitor and to limit his ability to threaten his neighbors in light of his increased aggressiveness. And I think that we will achieve that, and I think we are achieving that.
Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman John Shalikashvili said Saddam may not have anticipated the strength of world reaction after he tried to exploit the Kurdish conflict.
I think he's having perhaps some second thoughts now.
U.S. troops based at Fort Hood, Texas, are standing by for deployment to the Persian Gulf this week. American military officials hope to base them in Kuwait. Secretary of State Warren Christopher says he has no reason to think Kuwait will deny that permission.
We have a good deal of equipment pre-positioned in Kuwait, and what we want to do is to move in a few more troops just as a prudent, precautionary matter.
Meantime, Defense Secretary William Perry continues his visit to the Gulf region, trying to rally Arab support against Saddam Hussein, while U.S. warplanes continue to patrol Iraq's no-fly zones. Linda Moore, ABC News.
The unrest in northern Iraq has created a refugee crisis now. Thousands of Kurds who oppose Saddam Hussein have fled their homes. Some have ties to the U.S. government, and as ABC's Linda Patillo reports, Washington has promised not to abandon them.
They left behind their families and their homes, driven by their fear that Saddam Hussein would retaliate against them. Like this man, they worked for the American government here for the last 5 years.
These people are afraid that they might be for sure targeted by the Iraqi intelligence.
The refugees walked the last half mile across the border from northern Iraq into Turkey. More than 500 Kurds and their families crossed the border. Another 2,000 will be evacuated over the next few days. They brought only what they could carry. This man and his family had escaped in the middle of the night from Erbil after Iraqi troops captured the city 2 weeks ago. We are coming, he told us, coming to America. At a processing camp in Turkey, U.S. officials said all of the Kurds would be offered asylum in the United States.
These are the ones who are most directly associated with the United States government, and we believe, therefore, have the most direct claim to a well-founded fear of persecution for their association with the United States.
Hundreds more Kurds who worked for American relief groups are still in northern Iraq. There is no word on whether they too will be evacuated. One American relief worker said the evacuation is a signal that America is abandoning northern Iraq. It is a green light to Saddam Hussein, he said. He can come into northern Iraq now and the Americans will do nothing. Linda Patillo, ABC News on the northern Iraqi border.
Just 2 days after the elections in Bosnia comes word that two arch rivals in the area will hold the summit meeting. Bosnian President Alija Izetbegović is due to meet in Paris in 3 weeks with Serbian President Slobodan Milosevic. Voting in the elections was peaceful, but there was disappointment at how few Muslims and Croats crossed into Serb territory to vote.
In this country, it is launch day for the space shuttle Atlantis. The 11-day mission will bring astronaut Shannon Lucid home from a record-setting stay aboard the Russian space station Mir. It will also bring astronaut John Blaha to take her place as part of an effort to have a continuing American presence in space. Lucid was due home 6 weeks ago, but booster rocket problems and 2 hurricanes delayed her return. In other news, fans are mourning murdered rap singer Tupac Shakur. Tributes were paid to the gangster rapper yesterday at the New York church he belonged to as a boy. Shakur died Friday from gunshot wounds suffered in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. Police are discounting reports in Newsweek magazine that there have been 2 payback killings in the Los Angeles area in retaliation for Mr. Shakur's death.
There's some weather news this morning. Storms in Texas have left a trail of flooding and blackouts. More than 2 inches of rain an hour poured down yesterday in the aftermath of Hurricane Fausto. In San Antonio, people had to be rescued from cars and as well as buildings. Thousands of others were left without power.
And for today at least, it should be dry in the Lone Star State. There will be rain, though, however, in the Ohio and Tennessee valleys. The hot weather continues in the southwest up into the 90s, but it's better than the 100s, as you all know it has been. It will be a lot cooler in the northwest and the Great Lakes. World News Now National Temperature Index is flirting with sort of a fall-like index reading, 787 Fahrenheit, 419 Celsius. Let's go international now and walk the high wire in China.
World News Now weather, brought to you by Extra Strength Gold Bond Medicated Powder.
If you need extra strength medication to treat itchy skin, you're not alone.
I was always itching, I was always scratching, I felt miserable.
Now you can solve your itchy skin problems with Extra Strength Gold Bond Medicated Powder.
With the Extra Strength Gold Bond, the itch is gone.
Extra Strength Gold Bond has an extra strength triple action formula. We take our proven absorbing action, then add more pain reliever for medicating action, and extra zinc oxide for drying action.
I recommend Extra Strength Gold Bond to all my friends because it works.
Extra Strength Gold Bond Medicated Powder.
Sleep deprivation. 70 million Americans have experienced it, but you don't have to. Try Maximum Strength Sleep and All Soft Gels with the sleep aid preferred by 7 out of 10 doctors. Sleep and All Soft Gels help you fall asleep fast.
.409 Blue Glass and Surface Cleaner. Streak-free cleaning that doesn't stop at glass.
You're ready to quit. Great. Now, which patch? With Nicoderm CQ, you cut back your nicotine dose gradually. And gradual is the method doctors prefer. But you can't do that with Nicotrol. You can wear Nicoderm CQ 24 hours, so it's still with you when you wake up. You can't do that with Nicotrol. Highest level of medicine? CQ. And CQ was the patch most prescribed by doctors. Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to quit successfully.
Latex condoms are effective in preventing the spread of HIV when used consistently and correctly. For a free brochure on how to use a condom, call 1-800-342-AIDS.
These great comedians got their start in stand-up. Now it's Lisa Ann Walters' turn to stand out in her very own show.
The happy mommy is a good mommy, and a bitter old resentful mommy is, well, let's face it, grandma.
Life's Work, after Roseanne, ABC tomorrow.
World News Now Sports, brought to you by Nissan.
Upset of the day in the NFL was in Texas. I still don't know who that was. Anyway, this upset yesterday in Texas, the Indianapolis Colts simply stunned the Dallas Cowboys. We'll show you how now. The Colts battled back from a 21-9 deficit third quarter. Jim Harbaugh finding Ken Dilger right there for the 8-yard TD in a 22-21 lead. However, Dallas would not lie down. Chris Bonial hits this 52-yard field goal. Fourth quarter now, and the Cowboys regain the lead 24-22. However, Kerry Blanchard, watch this, he hits his 43-yarder with less than a minute left. Colts now led 25-24. Dallas, one last chance. Bonial trying for 57 yards off for the win. Off the crossbar, can you believe it? Colts win by a point. They are now unbeaten. Dallas falls to 1-2. Another big day for Brett Favre as the Green Bay Packers move to 3-0 for the first time since 1982. Did you know that? They were hosting San Diego at Lambeau Field. Favre throwing for 3 touchdowns. That one to William Henderson, who headed for the stands. Don't worry, he came back. Nobody heard him. Favre was 22 for 34. Desmond Howard returns a punt 65 yards for a touchdown. And Leroy Butler picked off Stan Humphries there. Went 90 yards. This is a beautiful run for another Packers score. Green Bay won it 42-10, handing the Chargers their first loss. 65 picked up. Okay. The home runs were, I don't know, the home runs were flying at Fenway Park as the Red Sox played host to the White Sox. Frank Thomas, ooh, big guy, hits 3 homers in his first 3 at-bats. You hear that one crack? Ooh. For Chicago, as they tried to keep pace with the Orioles in the wild card race. But Mo Vaughn, ooh, clubs a pair of homers for the Red Sox, his 40th and 41st of the year. Career high for him. And that 2-run shot gave Boston a 6-5 lead. Game tied at 8. Bottom of the 9th win. Troy O'Leary's base hit up the middle won it for Boston 9-8 over Chicago. Now, we're going to show you something that you probably have never seen. I've never seen this. Not that I actually watch cars going around in circles. But anyway, in Dover, Delaware, another big win on the NASCAR circuit for Jeff Gordon. This is what you haven't seen, though. Tempers hot. Can you believe this? At the MBNA 500, Jimmy Spencer, he's in the yellow, just wrecked his car and was mad at Wally Dallenbach, whom he blamed for causing the crash. Anyway, let's get to the race, guys. Jeff Gordon won his 8th race of the year, took over the Winston Cup points lead from Terry Labonte and Dale Jarrett. Gordon is the defending Winston Cup champion. But after the race, let's get mad some more. More hot tempers. Kyle Petty on the right goes nose-to-nose with Michael Waltrip over some disagreement these two had on the track. Now, listen, we're used to that in hockey and baseball. Well, we shouldn't be used to it in baseball and basketball and everything, and cab riding in New York. But, geez, the NASCAR races? I don't know, guys. Scores. That's sports for this half hour.
Coming up, a madman with gadgets and more.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
You knew it was easy on hands, but can Ivory dishwashing detergent really clean your greasiest pots and pans? Seeing is believing, because Ultra Ivory is better than you think. Its targeted grease cleaners cut through grease, but won't dry your skin. So you can be tough on dishes easy on hands and never need these gloves again. Ivory, fight grease with your bare hands.
Did you know that the leading known cause of mental retardation is 100% preventable? Did you know that's because the leading known cause of mental retardation in children is mothers who drink alcohol when they're pregnant? And did you know that as little as an ounce of alcohol a day can permanently complicate your child's life before it begins? Every child deserves a fighting chance, so don't drink when you're pregnant. Because now you know.
All right, bad pun time. What do you call a very small gadget for flipping over statues? It is an icon teeny turner. We actually paid somebody to write that. Sort of puts this season's new ABC shows in perspective, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
We need this guy's help. He's actually the head writer of Mad Magazine, which we will talk about in just a moment.
Sure.
But first, Dick DeBartolo, gadget guy. Let's wear that hat first. We should call you Fireman.
Oh, yeah.
Dick,
okay, well, you know, I have a lot of, the fall brings a lot of neat new gadgets because people are looking for Christmas gifts after Thanksgiving.
Why not a fire extinguisher?
Oh, you want to start with a fire extinguisher? Okay, I like the way this man just throws me totally off. Yeah, good. Okay, from First Alert, a new fire extinguisher, what they did is they found a lot of people, especially a person with arthritis, has trouble with those big wide handles on the fire extinguisher, and even for kids. So they designed the fire extinguisher.
This thing is aiming at me.
It's aiming at you, but we have the little safety plug in here. It's just made like it would be one of those cleaning product bottles where you just squeeze that, set the fire extinguisher.
So a lot easier to handle.
A lot easier to handle. Okay. We'll just stay with safety. Okay. This is called
I'm sorry to throw you off.
Yeah, I know. I don't care. I don't care. Hey, I'm used to this. This is a CO detector, carbon monoxide detector, because we're going into the heating season. Any appliance or device that produces heat can produce carbon monoxide, which is deadly. This is called the extra sensitive detector. Not because you're an extra sensitive guy. Actually, I called them. I asked them, why do you need an extra sensitive? Babies, older people who breathe faster and heavier take in more oxygen. Consequently, they would also take in more carbon monoxide if it was in the air. So you want an extra sensitive
Now, if you burn toast and stuff, does that mean this thing is...
That's gonna set off your smoke detector.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm on the page.
Okay,
all right.
And if you're a gadget guy like I am, this is a digital detector. When it detects carbon monoxide, it'll actually start showing you the digital readout. You can open a window, see if the readout's on its way down. This one is battery operated. And
so you can tell if you're getting very sick, right?
No, you can tell if you're cleaning the carbon monoxide out of the room.
Okay.
This is hardwired. Those three guys are all from First Alert.
Good ideas, huh?
Yeah, all great ideas. Hey, you know, Nintendo just introduced Game Boy Pocket.
Game Boy Pocket.
Oh, I love Tetris. You know, with a little, I think it's on the screen now, where the little boxes are falling on the screen. Well, the new Game Boy is half the weight, a third of the original Game Boy, but the screen size is exactly the same. And it's a new LCD screen.
So how do the cartridges fit in there?
The cartridges slide in the back here, and it takes the very same cartridges that fit all the other Game Boys. And by the way, they introduced, where's my, they introduced Tetris Attack.
This is a new one, is it?
This is a brand new one. It just came out in the fall, and it fits Game Boy Pocket.
Okay.
Okay, neat little guy. Okay, now I'm going to bring up on the desk. This is really neat. If you have a car, a van, a boat, this is called Go Light Radio Ray. It's wireless. I'm going to turn this on. We have it facing down, and I have the fog light cover on it.
Wow.
It's bright. I think it's 100,000 candle power.
No kidding.
This is great if you're in your RV going through the woods. If you're in your boat, what you can do...
You do a little trailblaze into the RV through the woods,
yes,
right?
I think you would. You can mount the bracket. You can get two brackets. Mount one on your car, one on your boat. And the little guy plugs into your cigarette lighter.
Terrific. And this is sort of a remote control, so you could put this on the roof of whatever you're driving.
Absolutely. You know, also safety. If a woman is traveling alone at night,
or a man,
or a man, okay, you can operate this up to 150 feet from the remote control. That's at E&B.
It's completely wireless.
Oh, it's completely wireless.
Oh, that's great.
let's pay attention here.
Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Click me after
now,
that.
Okay. There's a wired version for less money. Marine stores carry it. E&B Marine, Goldberg's Marine. This is called Go Light Radio Ray. This guy is neat from Oregon Scientific. The time machine, TV stations between midnight and 2 a.m. pick up a radio signal that sets their clocks to the precise second.
Yeah, that's what gets us going here.
Okay, I wondered what got you going. Now I know. Well, this little clock has an antenna that locks onto that same radio signal, and every night it resets itself to the exact second.
Wow.
Now, right before the air, we took the batteries out, so it's not the exact time because it's seen all over the country, and we didn't want to drive people crazy depending on what zone they're in. About $100.
That's great. And that's from Boulder, Colorado, right?
Yes,
what is that?
The atomic clock. The atomic clock in Boulder, Colorado. Oregon Scientific also makes a weather clock, which is this guy here. It's an alarm clock. It tells you what the weather is. If it detects that there's a lightning storm, it'll also do a little audible alarm and a little lightning bolt to tell you, watch out, where an electrical storm. That's about $70. Both those Oregon Scientific. Sort of the ultimate remote control from Sol, S-O-L-E. This one controls even your digital satellite dish.
So you don't need 17 different...
17, and it does picture-in-picture on-screen programming, a lot of things that remote controls don't do.
Okay, which sounds pretty cool. You know what, though? Before we get out of here, let's talk about
Okay, I was just going to say, you know, I'm also the head writer at Mad Magazine. Mad Magazine is introducing, it's sort of the first pothole on the information highway, okay? The October issue of Mad Magazine is including a free CD-ROM.
this is the first time you all have done this, right?
The first time, and it's free. I mean, we tried to sell it. No one wanted it, so we're giving it away. It has 3 songs on it, which will play in a regular CD or your CD-ROM
Let's hear a little bit of one of them while we talk.
Yep. One of the most famous songs Mad ever called, It's a Gas. And it's for people have ever writing in going, you had a burping song 30 years ago. The burping songs on the CD-ROM.
This is the ones that you guys used to have in the little plastic tearaway.
The little tearaway things.
So you could put on your clothes and play?
Exactly. You get 15 free hours of America Online.
All right.
And the Mad Index. Everything written in every issue of Mad for the first 34 years. And it's all free in that October issue.
It's a gas.
Thank you. Oh, you're saying that to me? Or
Yes,
okay.
Dick DeBartolo, nice to see you.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Thank you. Likewise. You're watching ABC's World News Now.
This precision instrument must search for tenacious deposits that cling perilously close to your fragile gums, a procedure for gingivitis. Fortunately, gingivitis may be avoided. Use Listerine. Gum disease is caused by germs. Listerine kills them. It's the brand, the only brand clinically proven to help prevent gingivitis. All procedures should be as easy as this, the power of prevention. Listerine.
It's the first thing we all reach out for, and we never really stop. When we marry, buy a home, build a career, raise a family. Even when we retire, we still reach out for something only a company like Travelers Insurance can promise, whether it's life insurance to protect you today or annuities to enrich your tomorrows. What we all want is what Travelers Insurance provides, something to hold on to.
Claritin.
You've got to ask your doctor about Claritin.
I did. You should too. I will. Everybody should. It's time you experience Claritin. Ask your doctor for a prescription and call 1-800-CLARITIN.
Claritin is right for me.
Until I asked my doctor, I had no idea what Claritin was.
Clear days and nights are here. Call 1-800-CLARITIN. Is that clear?
Perfectly.
Ask your doctor about Claritin today and call 1-800-CLARITIN for a $5 coupon and free information.
I can't get my kids to eat right. All they want is junk food. One way to give them extra nutrition is with rich chocolate Ovaltine. It's got vitamins Nestle Quick and Hershey's don't.
Rich chocolate Ovaltine in the new blue package. Tastes great. Great for you.
Need stronger itch medication?
The rash will keep me awake. It burns and itches.
Extra strength Gold Bond medicated powder with extra strength to medicate, absorb, and dry.
I can sleep better due to the itch relief.
Extra Strength Gold Bond. Extra medicated for extra relief.
Looking for the vacation of a lifetime? Look no further. Call now and sail away on Carnival, the best vacation value under the sun. You'll enjoy fabulous dining, fun-filled days at sea, lavish entertainment, plus visits to some of the world's most exciting ports of call. All for one low price. So call now.
Take a 7-day fun ship vacation from as little as $4.99. See any travel agent or call 1-800-CARNIVAL today.
It is Respect for Elders Day in Japan, so there's no Asia Business Report this morning. But we do have Harry Shearer, who, as you may know, does not have respect for much of anything. But one thing he did like is gone. So this morning, Harry's sad.
Ladies and gentlemen, I miss the Cold War. In a very real sense, the great twilight struggle against the evil empire was the only foreign policy America has ever had. Before that were 2 world wars where we rushed in the last minute to save Europe's hash. Before that was a war started by the Hearst newspapers. Before that, George Washington was telling us to avoid foreign entanglements. Look at us now. The CIA spent $100 million helping the Kurds to fight against Saddam Hussein, but they never knew that half of the Kurds were planning to switch to the other side. $100 million sure doesn't buy you what it used to. We've tried to tilt towards Iran. We've tried to tilt towards Iraq. We've zigged when we should have zagged. We've zagged when we should have done nothing. Trying to be a superpower on the model of the wily British when all we really wanted to do was to drive electric cars and tell the entire Persian Gulf to go drill itself. The Cold War made the world so simple. There were the good bad guys, the despotic dictators who liked us, and the bad guys, the ruthless dictators who danced to Moscow's tune. Sometimes our guys killed more people, sometimes theirs did, but we always knew for whom to root. And miraculously, most of the really troublesome characters, like Saddam, were on their side. So when one of them got a little rowdy, our president just picked up the red phone, called Brezhnev or Khrushchev, and said, hey, get your boy in line or it's Nuke City. And boom. After a little tube time for the diplomats to shuttle back and forth with concerned looks on their faces, the problem got solved. When you blow things completely out of proportion and anything can mean the end of the world, stuff gets done. The Cold War accomplished things. The interstate highway system got built so that trucks had nice big roads on which to carry missiles. Schools got serious money because we were in a space race against the gang who ran the Gulag. Americans pretended to care about what was going on in the rest of the world because it was so damn simple. What we need is one big enemy. If Saddam, let's say, rounded up Colonel Gaddafi and President Assad of Syria, got Idi Amin out of retirement and hired whoever replaced Pol Pot and formed one global version of the Hells Angels, then that would be something to have a foreign policy about. Then maybe we could tell the good Kurds from the bad Kurds. Then maybe the good Kurds would have the discipline to take our 100 million and not switch sides. That's the magic of a good Cold War. From the edge of America, I'm Harry Shearer.
He gets scary sometimes. One global version of the Hells Angels. That was Harry Shearer, and that's the news for this half hour.
Coming up, more world news now or world news this morning.
Depression was more than the blues for Ruth Brown.
When my mother died, I felt like I just didn't want to live anymore. I got seriously depressed. But my darling sister Goldie helped me to realize that I really needed help. Help with medication and talk therapy. I began to feel much more like myself in just a few weeks. If you know someone who is depressed, try to help them get some treatment.
For free print materials on depression, call 1-800-421-4211. That's 1-800-421-4211.
You'll feel so much better for it, and so will they.
New York City. Sometimes it seems like a million problems. But that's just one side of the story. The other side is made possible through your contributions to the United Way.
Supporting agencies that provide job training and counseling.
Food, shelter, and medical assistance.
Child care that offers our kids a safe start. And recreation programs that lift the spirit.
If you only give once, give to the United Way. See how good it feels.
Always on the run, but for the wrong reasons? You just can't seem to wake up on time. Well, there's a solution to your dilemma, and it's called 540-TIME, New York's best wake-up service. Dial 540-8463 now and receive your own hotel-style wake-up call. For only $1.75 plus possible toll, you'll have the advantage of a reliable computerized wake-up service at your fingertips. Anytime, all the time. Be on time with 540-TIME.
Channel 7 Eyewitness News, where the news comes first.
Hello from New York, I'm Mark Mullen.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Founder. Here's the headlines at this hour. The crime issue takes the campaign center stage. American troops await word from Kuwait. And counting the ballots in Bosnia. Also coming up for you in this half-hour, election coverage on their news from Sarajevo. And Mark and I will take a look at your morning paper, some of the news magazines, some photographs as well. Right now, the top of the news.
The Dole and Clinton campaigns duel for the law and order vote today. Bob Dole launches a major effort to prove he is tougher on crime than President Clinton, but the president will be surrounded by uniforms as he wins the endorsement of a police group that backed George Bush in 1992. Details from ABC's Deborah Weiner.
Never before has the Fraternal Order of Police formally endorsed a Democrat for president. But it was images like this that clinched it. The president attending the police memorial service in Washington every year. Add to that the Brady Law, the assault weapons ban, and Mr. Clinton's tough stand on cop killer bullets. The timing could not be worse for Bob Dole. He is hoping crime and drugs will be his issues that catch fire with the voters and help his stalled campaign. Dole highlighted one of his goals in an interview with Good Morning America's Charlie Gibson.
We're going to pledge to cut drug use in half by the end of our first term. You know, drug use during the Reagan and Bush years went down by about 50%, and now it's doubled under the 44 months of President Clinton.
Under Dole's plan, he says he will renew the commitment to battling drugs. On crime, toughen sentences for violent juvenile offenders, require federal prisoners to work 40 hours a week, and create a computer check system to prevent criminals from buying guns. The Dole camp is launching a media blitz to sell this proposal, spending more next week on television ads than any other week so far.
Bill Clinton isn't protecting our children from drugs.
The new Dole plan has Clinton campaign officials scoffing.
They're acknowledging that the tax or the economic plan that they've put out isn't working. America isn't buying it. But going on crime and drugs isn't going to work.
The Dole campaign says the economic plan is still its cornerstone. The anti-crime package, another theme that addresses the concerns of the public, and they hope will help them gain ground in the polls. Deborah Weiner, ABC News, Washington.
There is no new contract between Ford and the United Auto Workers, but there is no walkout either, even though their contract expired on Saturday night. After marathon talks over the weekend, the two sides took a break last night. They are due to sit down again this morning. Both sides have expressed optimism that a new contract can be agreed on without a walkout.
Defense Secretary William Perry is traveling through the Persian Gulf region, pressing U.S. allies for support against Iraq. He asked Kuwait, for example, to allow 3,000 more U.S. troops on its soil. He is still waiting for an answer, and so are the soldiers and their families. Details from ABC's Catherine Harridge.
At Fort Hood in Texas, American soldiers were loading equipment, packing their bags, and saying goodbye to their families.
Makes you have a heavy heart on whether you want to send them or not, but you know what's got to be done.
It's a waiting game for about 3,000 soldiers who will head to Kuwait if the order comes. In the last 12 hours, not much has changed. They are still waiting.
Soldiers of the 3rd Brigade Combat Team are preparing for a possible deployment, but at this point in time, we've received no written instructions, and that's kind of where we leave it.
Yesterday, the Secretary of Defense made his case to the Kuwaiti authorities.
The purpose of my visit here was to discuss our view of the strategy relative to the present crisis caused by Iraq, to consult with the Kuwaiti government to get their views on it, and particularly to consult about future actions that might be taken.
The United States has said it will not tolerate any challenges against American pilots in Operation Southern Watch, the expanded no-fly zone over Iraq. Kuwait has allowed the United States to operate stealth bombers from its soil. But for now, the Kuwaitis have not given permission to take more U.S. troops. In the meantime, the United States continues to build up its military presence, with the USS Enterprise equipped with sophisticated fighter jets heading for the region. As the American stance hardens against Iraq, the support of the Gulf nations will become more important. And for now, some Arab countries are against further attacks on Saddam Hussein. Catherine Herridge, ABC News.
Initial results from Bosnia's elections will not be in until late today or perhaps tomorrow. President Clinton calls Saturday's mostly peaceful vote, quote, a remarkable step forward, end quote. But there were some irregularities at the polls. Here's Sally Moore of Worldwide Television News.
Counting started early in Bosnia's first post-war elections, and the posturing continued, with claim and counterclaim coming from the two main parties, the Muslim-dominated SDA and the Serb-backed SDS, over the validity of the election process. But another problem soon emerged, as counting at one polling station revealed only 2 in 10 votes were valid.
No mark on this one, okay? These are what we call invalid ballots.
The ruling SDA Muslim party is unhappy with the way the elections have been handled and are calling for the results in Serb-held Bosnia to be declared invalid, claiming Serbs denied many Muslims the right to vote.
Although elections were really quiet, there were no major incidents, there were too many irregularities.
OSCE officials said neither of the major parties had complied 100% with the election process.
Both parties committed themselves to the organization of free and fair elections and the creation of conditions to do so. Both parties have failed to comply to a certain extent.
The election result was again threatened when counting was suspended in Serb-controlled areas. It resumed after a hasty crisis meeting with OSCE officials in Pale resolved the confusion over voting rules. Meanwhile, US envoy Richard Holbrooke has dismissed the SDA challenge to the election results.
The government is awaiting the results and looking at it carefully. They will act according to the situation as it develops.
Bosnian and Serb presidents are due to meet in Paris within 3 weeks in a move towards normalizing relations. The people of Sarajevo pray these imperfect elections will ensure Bosnia's fragile peace process continues.
That report from Sally Moore of Worldwide Television News.
Let's take a moment now and check your weather. A day of storms across much of the south in the U.S. Lighter rain and showers in the northwest and New England. Temperatures will sink into the 50s in the northwest, but in the southwest, it will be in the 90s. World News Now national temperature index 787 Fahrenheit, 419 Celsius. Local forecasts and sea lions in Monterey Bay, California.
World News Now weather, brought to you by Tylenol.
Got any Tylenol, Jill?
Oh, when did you switch to Tylenol?
When my doctor told me some pain relievers could irritate my stomach.
Really? Pain relievers?
Yeah, my doctor said that aspirin and even ibuprofen can sometimes irritate your stomach.
Oh, no kidding.
But Tylenol doesn't, and it works great.
To avoid the chance of stomach irritation, Tylenol is the pain reliever recommended most by doctors.
How's your stomach?
Stuffed.
Oh.
Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
I can't get my kids to eat right. All they want is junk food.
One way to give them extra nutrition is with rich chocolate Ovaltine. It's got vitamins Nestle Quick and Hershey's don't.
Rich chocolate Ovaltine in the new blue package. Tastes great. Great for you.
Need stronger itch medication?
It was extremely itchy.
Extra Strength Gold Bond Medicated Powder with extra strength to medicate, absorb, and dry.
It was cooling. It stopped the itch.
Extra Strength Gold Bond Powder. Extra medicated for extra relief.
A front airbag is a very powerful device designed to help protect an adult, not a child. Because of the size of the bag and the speed of its inflation, Volvo believes no child should ever be placed in the front seat of a car. Any car. Drive safely.
My youngest daughter made a comment. She said to me, "Mommy, you're fat." At that point, I decided we're going to do something. I lost over 50 pounds using the Slim Fast plan. I had a shake for breakfast, had a shake for lunch. It was so easy. Pop that top, I'm good to go. It has vitamins, minerals, protein, calcium, all the balanced nutrition, like a healthy meal. I feel more energetic. I feel good about me. Life's good.
Slim Fast, balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
Life's good.
Skin rash?
Itchy rash. I previously used cortisone 10. Then I used Gold Bond medicated cream.
Gold Bond medicated anti-itch cream. Itch relief that starts to work on contact. And a recent clinical study showed at 10 minutes, Gold Bond cream gave more effective itch relief than cortisone 10. And it has 2 medically proven pain relievers not in cortisone 10.
Gold Bond cream relieved my itch immediately.
For itch relief that's effective and superior to cortisone 10 at 10 minutes, try Gold Bond medicated cream.
My top page says World News Now Sports, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so we best not tarry. Tom Glavine came through for the Atlanta Braves, helping them stop their 6-game losing streak. In New York, facing the Mets, who took the first 2 games of this series, Glavine got a base hit to drive in one of Atlanta's 3 runs. Wasn't pretty, but it was enough. Braves had only won 2 of 12 games in September. Glavine struck out 10, stopped his own 2-game losing streak, and moved his record to 14-9. Braves beat the Mets 3-2. In Virginia, it was a victory for the United States against the international team in the President's Cup. A clutch putt down the stretch by Fred Couples. He was one up on Vijay Singh with 2 holes to play when he drained this long birdie. Couples was a happy guy, and so was U.S. team captain Arnold Palmer. The U.S. beat the international team 16.5 to 15.5. Didn't the U.S. play Canada in hockey sometime this weekend? I'll ask Thalia in a sec. Now, fasten your seatbelts. What can we say except right now it is time for Plays of the Week from ESPN and Scores from us? Roll it, fellas.
Clayton hits it the other way. Slicing away from Maddest, but he gets there. Maybe playable on the first base side. Scott service toward the dugout and makes the catch.
Johnny Damon on the run along with Kevin Young. They collide.
Joey Scudder stepping his way around. Gets around, gets one block at the 15, to the 20, breaks 3. 30-yard line. Galloway to the 40. He is gone. Joey Galloway. Touchdown Seahawks. That one will go for 90 yards.
And a fake, and there an angel right up the middle. Look at that. Look at that. There an angel still going. He's gonna go. This one goes 81 yards. It's John Foose on a clear break. Oh, Richter stole it. John Foose again. Richter stopped it again. William Carr is back in for Michigan, number 96 in the middle, and Richter puts it up for Caruth. He's downfield. Chop to Howell, out at third, out at second, a triple play. They need some yardage if they want to get a field goal. They throw the ball to Street out, and he catches it. Unbelievable. Although he's going to let it go. The ball is tipped and a touchdown for Lloyd.
that's sports for this half hour. And about that hockey game?
Yeah, good game, wasn't it? This is World News Now.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
It took over 50 years to create the ultimate home design center, Roma Domani. Now they are furniture designs you won't see anywhere else. Only at Roma Domani, the next generation. Come visit us at our only location, Paramus, New Jersey.
Why does Mommy drink? Because sometimes I forget to make my bed. My daddy drinks because I fight with my sister. If I did better in school, maybe Daddy wouldn't drink so much.
Help them learn they are not to blame. Support the Children of Alcoholics Foundation.
My Bobby drinks because, I guess it's because I'm bad.
Months after the signing of the Dayton Peace Accord, Bosnia has delivered its first elections for a three-person presidency, a parliament, regional councils, and more. Many had expected it, but there was no major violence. Still, a European Union monitoring group criticized the election, citing irregularities in Serb and Croat-held areas. Here's last night's news from Bosnia's capital, Sarajevo. Their news from Bosnia-Herzegovina TV.
Good evening. According to preliminary reports, almost 70% of the population voted at yesterday's elections in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Counting of the votes started last night. At the last press conference that started at 5 p.m. today, the incriminating details in connection with the elections and the counting of the votes in the Serbian entity were discussed. The Preliminary Elections Committee held a press conference today at the Media Center in Sarajevo, where the reporters have been briefed on the daily events and the past elections. Sir Kenneth Scott stated his overall general satisfaction with the way the elections had been conducted in spite of 2 incidents and sporadic violence. Once again, the former American peace mediator Richard Holbrooke took part in Bosnian events. His latest visit to Bosnia-Herzegovina and his engagement in the Sarajevo-Belgrade relations should provide the necessary prerequisites for organizing the meeting between President Izetbegovic and the Serbian President Milosevic in Paris. The French ambassador in Bosnia-Herzegovina said that the meeting is to be expected within the next 3 weeks. President Izetbegovic and Mr. Holbrooke spoke about the elections. The Bosnian citizens were enabled to express their democratic will, said President Izetbegovic. In some Serbian parts, there were reports on some serious irregularities. We will do everything to correct these irregularities, said Izetbegovic. We need to implement the Dayton Agreement and to make all necessary prerequisites for the fair and free upcoming county elections. Holbrooke stated that the United States will stand behind the election's results in spite of the minor irregularities. The parties of Bosnia-Herzegovina monitored the flow of yesterday's elections. The first reactions were received right after the closing of the voting polls. The Party for Democratic Action stated that because of the irregular voting procedures, the elections in the Serbian Republic are invalid. We will conclude this report with the news about the elections from Sarajevo. The legal advisor for the Elections Appeal Committee commented on the situation in the entire country. A great number of Bosnian citizens did not vote because their names were not included on the temporary voters list, so we turned to the Elections Appeal Subcommittee in order to get a valid explanation for these issues. We asked the legal advisor of the subcommittee, Ms. Sandra Colliver, how many appeals have been received from the citizens of Sarajevo. We've received a total of 70 appeals from individuals who are grieved because they were not allowed to vote. We feel sorry for those whose names should have been included on those lists and who were not allowed to vote. We will investigate all of these cases very carefully. 24,000 voters from the Federation of Bosnia-Herzegovina should have voted in the Serbian Republic in the counties out of which they were expelled. This right was used by 20,000 voters. In order to get them to the polls, over 100 buses were used. From Tuzla, people traveled with only one thing on their minds. I've made up my mind, even if I should never return. I just want to take one more look at my birthplace. Only the brave ones are going. I fought for Bosnia-Herzegovina, and I'm still fighting by voting. The American State Secretary Warren Christopher in the TV show Face the Nation stated that taking everything into consideration and that there were no casualties, elections have been successful. This is a step forward toward peace. In spite of everything, the elections have taken place. Now we need to see the result, Christopher said. The next step is to form the central government to unite the country, he added. On the CBS TV network, the state secretary was asked questions pertaining to withdrawal of the American troops from our country. Christopher, however, did not wish to give a direct answer. He said it is too early to predict what is going to happen this fall. Thereby, the Bosnian story would be concluded. Somewhat earlier on NBC, the American UN ambassador, Madeleine Albright, also gave positive comments about the elections and said that President Clinton's decision to withdraw the troops by the end of December is still in effect. Should the international troops stay, those would be police forces. Congress, however, could back up the decision to keep the troops because that seems to be necessary, said the Republican leader Newt Gingrich in the same TV show.
So the elections were held on Saturday in Bosnia. The results could be determined today or perhaps tomorrow.
You're watching ABC's World News Now.
This is about the biggest idea in business communication today. About simple being smart, less being more. About how your business can get local and long-distance calling, plus everything from paging to conferencing, global to cellular. The whole menu, soup to nuts. From one team on one bill. From the one and only company in America with the power to put it all together. Network MCI. That's how.
When you get up this early, you need real coffee. Folgers Coffee Singles. Real mountain-grown coffee in a real coffee filter for one freshly brewed cup. Folgers Coffee Singles. Because real coffee makes real good mornings.
Well, it seems like almost every time you talk to our dad, he talks about teeth.
Open up and go, He'll do that a lot.
He sent us that toothbrush.
Yeah. How was your toothbrush experience?
It really feels good. I mean, it's different.
This is the Oral Care Brush from Mentadent. It doesn't just clean teeth. It's designed to massage and stimulate your gums.
It felt like 1,000 little fingers massaging and tingling my gums.
You just brush, and it gets up on that gum line on its own.
The Oral Care Brush from Mentadent.
Do you use ordinary Johnson's baby powder on your foot itch?
Your feet tend to sweat and get itchy and irritated. And Johnson & Johnson, I think that's more like a baby powder. I just put on the Gold Bond powder and it has that medicated feeling.
Unlike ordinary powders, Gold Bond's triple action formula has the absorbing action of powder, plus the medicating action of a proven itch fighter and the drying action of zinc oxide.
Gold Bond has that fresh, clean, tingly feeling. I lost the itch right away.
Gold Bond, more than a powder, it's medication.
A message about heartburn from the American College of Gastroenterology.
If you have heartburn more than twice a week, it may not be simple heartburn. You may have a more serious condition called reflux disease or GERD. My advice? If you have frequent heartburn or still have symptoms on your over-the-counter or prescription medicine, see your doctor or gastrointestinal specialist. They can help you live pain-free.
To learn more about heartburn and GERD, call 1-800-HRT-BURN.
I believe in doing things the natural way, so I chose Vagisil Yeast Itch Control Suppositories with all-natural homeopathic ingredients. It's natural, it's reasonably priced, and it's from Vagisil. Vagisil Yeast Itch Control.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Lauren Bacall.
That's right.
72. Can you believe
About
it? Her
that, huh?
her last name is really what? He was
Something like
telling me?
pesky or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Falls under the category of way too much information.
Well, I wasn't going to say it.
Oral
but I was
Hershiser also his birthday. Did they say that up there or not really?
I wasn't looking.
Anyway, for what that's
I
worth.
only read one or two there.
All right.
Can't read that fast, you know.
I can't either. Recess time to look at headlines in your papers, some pictures inside, and also let's begin with this video because this is really great. We told you all about this this story last night. A young man by the name of Gabe Lane, who was in Colorado. They said that he was too old to play high school for Central High School, so the Denver Broncos let him go out in the middle of their game, pick up the tee after kickoff, and what you didn't see there is he got all these great high fives. He had a John Elway personally autographed T-shirt, and it was a jersey rather, and it was an absolutely wonderful day for him. So we're happy to be able to give that follow-up.
And he was really happy. Can't blame him one little bit. I had picked out some photographs, and I just thought this first one, as I break my watch, I found it very interesting because look at the camera angles and so on. This young man is an airman, first class, Shane Haney. He's operating the fuel boom on a KC-135 tanker, and it's refueling the F-117A stealth fighter. This is above Missouri. It's just a great shot of it. Whoever took this, I mean, it's just a wonderful shot. And of course, the stealth fighters, several stealth fighters, about 8 of them are going to be in Iraq.
I've actually been in one of those refuelers, and what's really neat about this is you have to actually lay down completely on your stomach, and with 2 toggle devices, that's how they sort of lower the boom like that. Yeah.
It's just fascinating. I mean, it's just an unbelievable shot.
And then
That just the whole thing is fascinating. Do you want to see an airplane stunt since I'm on planes?
Yeah, let's go.
Here's a stunt. Now, if you see the plane is really close to the water, this is Joanne Ostrud is flying the plane. It's a biplane, it's Missouri Bay, and what she does is fly the plane between 2 boats, and obviously very close to it. You can only see, well, you can see both boats, kind of, to the right and left of your screen. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's pretty daring too. Look how close
you have to lie on your stomach for that one, or can you sit up straight up?
I don't know. No? Seat of the pants on that one. Here's a story actually in U.S. News and World Report that's coming out that says that right now President Clinton is trying to establish 311 as a phone number for standard police calls, 9-emergency, because 911 has gotten so many sort of routine calls. They want to try and do 311 for routine calls, 911 for simply emergency, and they're trying to push that through right now.
And they're trying to push us out of here because we've run out of time.
Again?
Well, that's it. That's the news for this half hour.
Have a good Monday, everyone.
There is a crisis in New York City. Our children need loving and nurturing foster and adoptive parents. Most of these children are adolescent males, sibling groups, and children with special and therapeutic needs. If you are a resident of New York City, are 21 years or older, and have room in your home and your heart for children who need your love, please give McMahon Services for Children a call at 212-243-7070. When you open your heart, your reward is love.
Last time on Pueblo 81009.
Take whatever you want, the cars, the mansion, but not my consumer information catalog.
Your catalog? I sent my name and address to New Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado 81009. This free listing of helpful government publications is mine, and you want to steal it.
Oh, Brad, I would never do that.
You can't remember a thing. He has
amnesia? Oh. Marco, remember using this free catalog to send for these free and low-cost government publications on saving money, getting federal benefits, staying healthy, and the catalog is free, free, free.
Free? Information on educating our children?
Send your name and address to New Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado 81009. Don't forget, like Marco.
Marco? Who's Marco?
Wake up right with your own personal hotel-style wake-up call. Call 540-WAKE. That's 540-WAKE. Get out of bed and get ahead. Call 540-WAKE. That's 540-WAKE. Places to go, people to see. Don't be late. Call 540-WAKE for a convenient hotel-style wake-up call. Just $2 from touch-tone phones. Call right now and move up in the world.
You may never use a public bathroom again after the next Oprah.
Good morning from New York. I'm Tanya Schuris.
And I'm Mark Mullen. It is a Monday. Hope your weekend went well. In the news at this hour, asking the Allies for help on Iraq. A major endorsement for President Clinton. And victim or violent role model. Also coming up this half hour, defining U.S. policy in the Persian Gulf, and Ian Scholes on the defense of marriage. Let's begin, though, at the top of the news. Thalia.
Thanks, Mark. Defense Secretary William Perry is visiting American allies in the Persian Gulf region. He's seeking support for the U.S. operation in Iraq. Now, Bahrain has agreed to allow F-16 fighters to be based on its territory, but there has been no decision yet from Kuwait, where the U.S. wants to put 3,000 troops. More from ABC's Joe McWethy at the Pentagon.
Defense Secretary Perry was trying to reassure America's reluctant allies in the Persian Gulf while asking them for still more help. He made it clear that the crisis with Iraq, while cooling, is still not over.
Are you now still considering military strikes against Iraq?
And that is still a possibility. But that possibility appears to be growing less likely. For 3 days, the Iraqis have not attempted to shoot at American planes patrolling the no-fly zones over Iraq. Another critical area is the Iraqi Air Defense Network, which the U.S. struck last week.
We see the missile sites still there. We see them moving around, trying to hide them from us. But on the other hand, we have not seen here in the last few days any effort to reconstruct them.
Intelligence sources tell ABC News that some Iraqi air defense units have actually returned to their garrisons. Words from the Iraqi government were also non-confrontational.
Let us hope that reason prevails, and you will see that we are going to live up to our commitment not to respond militarily. Judge us by the action.
In the meantime, the buildup of American firepower is continuing. A second aircraft carrier is heading for the Gulf, and at Fort Hood, Texas, 3,000 soldiers await orders before being sent to Kuwait as an additional show of force.
I'm looking forward to at least supporting the other soldiers that are there, making sure we give them the help that they need and stop any aggression if there is any.
Their departure has been delayed several days because the U.S. government forgot to notify Kuwait the troops were coming. The Kuwaitis were more than a little annoyed to hear about the troops from television news reports. Not the way to keep nervous allies happy. That was one thing Secretary Perry was working on in the Gulf. He now heads to Turkey and Great Britain to shore up other parts of a sometimes shaky coalition. John McWethy, ABC News, the Pentagon.
Serb nationalists are expected to make a strong showing as the votes are counted in Bosnia's first election since the war. Serbs, Muslims, and Croats voted for a three-man collective presidency plus national and regional legislatures. The presidents of Bosnia and Serbia have agreed to hold their first bilateral meeting in 3 weeks.
Law and order is the theme of the day in the presidential campaign. The nation's largest police organization is giving its endorsement to President Clinton. It is the first time the Fraternal Order of Police has backed a Democrat for president. The endorsement comes as rival Bob Dole announces new anti-drug and anti-crime proposals. Dole claims he can cut teenage drug use in half in his first term.
Well, it is launch day for the Space Shuttle Atlantis. The #1 item for the 11-day mission is to bring home astronaut Shannon Lucid, who has been aboard the Russian space station Mir since March. She was due to come home 6 weeks ago, but the mission was delayed because of problems with booster rockets as well as 2 hurricanes. Live pictures there. The shuttle is carrying Lucid's replacement, John Blaha, who is due to spend 4 months on the Russian space station.
There is a report that a gang shooting close to Los Angeles was in retaliation for the murder of Tupac Shakur. Newsweek magazine quotes police sources on that, but police say the motive for the gang shooting on Friday is unknown. Shakur died Friday from wounds suffered in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. ABC's Antonio Mora reports on how Shakur is being remembered.
Who will weep for Tupac?
Tupac Shakur was mourned at the Brooklyn church he attended as a boy, mourned by those who see him as a victim in a society where murder is the leading cause of death for young black men.
This is a wake-up call. This is our opportunity to kind of check ourselves as a community and understand that violence and a lifestyle that isn't as responsible as it could be could lead to this kind of thing.
Shakur lived what he called the thug life, surviving another shooting, arrested frequently, and convicted of sexual abuse and assault. His gangsta rap lyrics exploded with the rage of a rough life lived on the edge.
He was just telling it like it is, and he, and unfortunately in the hood, that's the way a lot of young lives end, and his ended that same way.
But critics say he dangerously glorified violence and profanity.
It makes it very hard to counteract the kind of message that's being sent to young children like this and younger who can, quote those lyrics from start to finish but may not know their ABCs.
Shakur's murder had all the markings of a gang-style hit, but police so far are stymied, in part because they've received almost no help from Shakur's associates who may have witnessed the killing. Police now fear retaliation and worry the crime may never be solved. This mural on Manhattan's Lower East Side reflects the feeling of the many who do not weep for Shakur, people who believe he was just another violent rapper who died the way he lived, proving tragically that violence will only lead to more violence. Antonio Mora, ABC News, New York.
Checking your weather now. Heavy rain in the Ohio and Tennessee valleys and showers in the Northwest and in New England. It will be cool in the Northwest, the Great Lakes, and much of the Northeast. World News Now national temperature index therefore 787 Fahrenheit, 419 Celsius. Local forecast now and ups and downs at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Well, they chased her down the alley and over the hill to steal her will. She was as hot as Georgia asphalt. When the hate crowd came to adore her brain. So leave Virginia alone. Leave Virginia alone. She's not like you.
World News Now weather, brought to you by Gold Bond Medicated Powder.
You should have seen her.
Male itch. I still had the male itch, the constant burn.
Male itch sufferers get relief with Gold Bond Medicated Powder.
The Gold Bond Medicated Powder completely cleared up the itch.
Gold Bond's triple action formula stops male itch with a proven medicated itch fighter, the absorbing action of powder, and the drying action of zinc oxide.
The Gold Bond Medicated Powder gave me the relief that I've been looking for a long time.
Triple action Gold Bond Medicated Powder stops male itch.
Computers in Silicon Valley have a model number on them, and that's it. At Gateway 2000, our custom-built computers are treated a little differently. That's because every system we build has a name attached.
Connie Kramer, Connie from New Jersey. This is your computer, and it's on television.
Gateway computers feature the Intel Pentium processor. And the only way to get them is to call 1-800-GATEWAY. You get a friend in the business, give us a call.
It's okay, look. Snap. It's a happy sound. If you don't have snap, then your pants fall down. And don't forget Crackle, he's the second sound. He's the guy in the middle. Water trickles, nose tickles, peanut brittle bill. And that leaves Pop. He's quite a clown. Snap, crackle, pop. Now let's chow down.
Snap, crackle, pop, Kellogg's Rice Krispies.
Sleep deprivation. 70 million Americans have experienced it, but you don't have to. Try maximum strength Sleep and All soft gels with the sleep aid preferred by 7 out of 10 doctors. Sleep and All soft gels help you fall asleep fast.
I believe in doing things the natural way, so I chose Vagisil Yeast Itch Control Suppositories with all natural homeopathic ingredients. It's natural, it's reasonably priced, and it's from Vagisil. Vagisil Yeast Itch Control.
This is about the biggest idea in business communication today. About simple being smart, less being more. About how your business can get local and long-distance calling, plus everything from paging to conferencing, global to cellular. The whole menu, soup to nuts. From one team on one bill. From the one and only company in America with the power to put it all together. Network MCI. That's how.
This morning, one-on-one with Bob Dole, plus Anthony Hopkins, and the toolman himself, Tim Allen.
That's this morning on Good Morning America.
ABC premiered Tuesday. Every family has to deal with it.
You think I'm gonna talk to you about my sex life? Sex life?
Now it's the Taylor's turn.
How old were you your first time?
What?
37.
The season premiere of Home Improvement. Then TV Guide says Spin City is Hit City. Series premiere ABC tomorrow.
World News Now Sports, brought to you by MCI.
Poor guys, hanging down their heads in sadness because of this shocker in the NFL as the Indianapolis Colts traveled to Texas and upset those Dallas Cowboys. Upset them. The Colts battled back from a 21-9 deficit in the third quarter. Indeed, Jim Harbaugh found Ken Dilger, excuse me, I don't know how to pronounce his name, for the 8-yard TD and a 22-21 lead. But Dallas would not lie down. Chris Boniel hits this 52-yard field goal in the fourth quarter. Cowboys regain the lead 24-22. But then Kerry Blanchard, watch closely, hits this 43-yarder with less than a minute left. Colts now led 25-24. Dallas, one last chance. Boniel tying from 57 yards out. Can you believe it? Bounces off the crossbar, so the Colts win by 1 point. They now are unbeaten. Dallas indeed falls to 1-2. Dan Marino celebrated his 35th birthday by leading the Dolphins past the New York Jets in Miami. Marino got off to a shaky start in the first quarter. He's passing on a 4th and goal. Picked off on the goal line by the Jets' Aaron Glenn, who has clear sailing. Look at this, 100 yards for the touchdown and the early Jets lead. But knowing the Jets, well, that doesn't mean much now. Marino struck back second quarter. He finds Stanley Pritchett. He does for a 74-yard touchdown, which is one of 3 Marino TD passes as the Dolphins remain undefeated at 3-0. And it's another big day for rookie Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. So the Dolphins beat the Jets by a score of 36-27. Want to look at some baseball? Okay, big day for the Baltimore Orioles as they tighten things up in the American League East, and they did it with a record-breaking win in Detroit. Brady Anderson with his 46th home run right out of there. Then Cal Ripken with the first of his 2 in the game, a 3-run shot. That tied the record of 240 homers in a season set by the 1961 Yankees. And that homer by Mark Parent, number 241 for the Orioles, established a major league mark. Bobby Bonilla adds a grand slam. Why not? Keep going. The Orioles crushed the Tigers 16-6, and they are now just 2.5 games behind the Yankees in the East, which makes it really exciting in the East, doesn't it? Let's go to Coal Valley, Illinois. Ooh, a bad day for Tiger Woods yesterday. Cost him the Quad City tournament. Woods was the 3rd-round leader, but a quadruple bogey and another 4-putt did him in. He finished 4 strokes off the lead. Not happy, obviously. The Quad City was won by Ed Fiori, who's a 43-year-old tour veteran. See, the veterans can still win, right? Long putt there. Fiori picked up his first PGA Tour victory since 1982. Ooh, had to wait 14 years for that. Let's take a look at the rest of the day's scores. The World Cup Championship of Hockey was won by Team USA. That's sports.
Who were they playing?
They're playing Team Canada.
Oh. Yeah! Okay. Better luck next time. Coming up, the Saddam problem.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
They want to get me.
Meet Together, the world's largest personal introduction service.
They sort of do it for you. You have a chance to go out and not have to work. You just go out and have fun.
We make sure to begin with that you're compatible. Then if you have the chemistry and the attraction, you have a much stronger foundation for the relationship.
It was very relaxing, much more comfortable than just meeting someone on a blind date, say.
There's a Together office near you. Call today. If you or someone you know has a learning problem and needs a diagnostic evaluation, tutoring, vocational guidance, or a support group, call the Learning Disabilities Free Helpline. The helpline provides information and referral about community programs to the learning disabled population in the 5 boroughs of New York City. Call 212-645-6730.
Let us ask you, how well is the U.S. handling the situation in Iraq? Well, it sort of depends on whom you ask. Ask a Republican in Congress, and you may hear that the Clinton administration is screwing up. Ask a Democrat, and you likely will hear that the president's policy is effective, offset by the many complications surrounding this issue. And if you wanted to hear about all of those complications, you could ask a top-ranking general. And if you wanted to hear that Iraq is being picked on and that the U.S. is actually an imperialistic bully, you could always ask an Iraqi official. David Brinkley did.
Saddam Hussein again. American military power moving to the Middle East again, because he's been making trouble again. And in Washington again, the argument that we should have done away with him when we had the chance in the last war. But we didn't, and he is out of his box again. So this country is preparing, if necessary, to take him on again. How? We'll ask today's guests. General John Shalikashvili, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Senators John McCain of Arizona and the Armed Services Committee, and Joseph Biden of Delaware and the Foreign Relations Committee, and Riyadh al-Khazi, Iraqi Deputy Foreign Minister. Here with us now, Riyadh al-Khazi, with George, Sam, and Koki. Thank you for coming. Tell me why this problem in the Middle East in your country has started now. What prompted it?
I don't know what you mean by a problem, Mr. Brinkley. All we did was something that is totally legitimate within our boundaries to restore the national unity of our people. We violated no rule, no commitment. The United States thought that this is a problem, and therefore they stuck with us with military aggression, sending missiles against us.
In the past, Saddam Hussein has said he will do some things and not done them. He said he won't do some things, and he has done them.
1991 is not 1996, Mr. Donaldson, so let us not make any comparison. In this situation...
You mean it's a different Saddam Hussein, or what?
In the present situation, we are acting within our sovereign territory. We have violated no borders, we have threatened nobody, we have violated no commitment, no resolution, no rule. On the contrary, the United States violated that. It is acting without any authorization from anybody. It is just simply launching its military might against us. We are a weaker country, just for purposes of its own foreign policy.
With us now, 2 senators, each of them on a Senate committee involved with foreign and military affairs, McCain of Arizona and Biden of Delaware. Thank you both for coming. We're pleased to have you with us. You know everybody here. Tell me, Senator McCain, you have been critical of the president's policy. What do you think it should be? What should he do?
Well, I think what it should have been was to punish the Iraqi military units that invaded the Kurdish areas, which we told them not to do. Then I think we should have and should responded in a disproportionate fashion, as Secretary Perry, as short a time ago as 48 hours ago, advocated, and in response to Iraqis rebuilding their defense sites and their continued firing at U.S. aircraft. And I believe, most importantly, we should rebuild the coalition, which is clearly crumbled, and to the point where now even the Kuwaitis are putting on hold the dispatch of 5,000 troops to protect them. So this situation is in terrible disarray. The credibility of the United States is at stake, and if we do nothing at this time, it will be further eroded, and friends and adversaries alike are watching throughout the world as to what we do.
Senator Biden of Delaware, of the Foreign Relations Committee, what are your thoughts about this? Do you agree with what you've just heard?
I disagree with everything John just said, quite frankly. Saddam Hussein's in a tighter box than he was before. The troops are out of the Kurdish area. 3, the allies, the alliance is stronger. This is a very tough decision. The bottom line here is the president, I think, got to the right point. Where he is now is Saddam Hussein is not rebuilding those sites, and if he does, we'll take them out. The no-fly zone has been extended. The coalition is in unison now. The French are saying they will, in fact, protect the no-fly zone still. And Saddam Hussein is locked in a tighter noose.
General Shalikashvili, thank you for coming in. Give us your take on what is happening in the Middle East. What are your thoughts about it?
Well, I, of course, as the chairman, look very much at the military situation on the ground. And our pilots, both up north and down south, continue to enforce the no-flight regime, together with our partners in that effort, the French and the British. And on the ground, what we are seeing is sort of a mixed story. The intelligence is, in fact, mixed about what Saddam Hussein is doing with his missile sites. We see the missile sites still there. We see him moving around, trying to hide them from us. But on the other hand, we have not seen here in the last few days any effort to reconstruct them. And of course, we have heard what he and his government have said about those missiles. But we have always said that it's not enough with Saddam Hussein to hear his words. We have to see his deeds on the ground. And that we will be watching in the days to come.
Speak about the military as opposed to the diplomatic purpose of sending 5,000 soldiers there. Is it your contention that 5,000 soldiers plus air power are sufficient to deter any possible Iraqi military action?
I'm not sure.
Or are they a tripwire force, something that would bring in much larger response?
I think that between those that we already have in a region, the equipment that we have pre-positioned, the airplanes we have there now, the naval forces, and a brigade's worth of ground forces, it certainly strengthens our deterrent posture down there. And with Saddam Hussein, as we have seen not only during Desert Storm, but in the fall of '94 and other times, you simply cannot predict what his actions would be. And I think that's a prudent measure to take at this time.
General, thank you.
Some of yesterday's This Week with David Brinkley.
You're watching ABC's World News Now.
A message about heartburn and GERD from the American College of Gastroenterology.
With over 200 heartburn medicines, how do you know what's best for you? And how do you know that burning pain you have isn't something more serious than simple heartburn? If you're taking over-the-counter medications more than twice a week, or if your medicine doesn't completely relieve your symptoms, stop taking chances. See a doctor. Maybe there's a better medicine that will help you live pain-free.
To learn more about heartburn and GERD, call 1-800-HRT-BURN.
Hugo? Yeah, Hugo Boss. The fragrance. Hey, the world is getting smaller. Smell better. Hugo.
Check it out at department stores.
Minor arthritis pain. Wish you could go back in time to before arthritis? Try Capsaicin P with the topical ingredient doctors recommend most for arthritis pain. When the pain is gone, it's almost like you've gone back in time. Capsaicin P.
I can't get my kids to eat right. All they want is junk food.
Yeah. Do they like chocolate milk?
Sure.
One way to give them extra nutrition is with rich chocolate Ovaltine. It's got vitamins Nestle Quick and Hershey's don't.
Yeah, it may be good for them, but will they like it?
My kids love it. They absolutely love it.
So my kids will like Ovaltine and it's good for them? Wow.
When my kids want chocolate milk, it's rich chocolate Ovaltine.
Rich chocolate Ovaltine in the new blue package. Tastes great. Great for you.
a good time to introduce the new, more responsive Volvo 850 GLT. Drive safely.
When you were a kid, having fun was your job. You took it seriously, and you were great at it. Man, did it feel good. But now,
your job's your job.
What happened to the fun part? That's Doubleman's job. Because when you put that legendary one-of-a-kind taste in your face, you feel good. Really, really good. Kind of like when you were a kid. So even though you're a big kid now, double your fun with Doublemint gum. And this grown-up life, it's the fun part.
After more than 200 years of American history, Congress has finally defined marriage. With the president's backing, Congress said marriage is the union of one man and one woman. The definition is embedded in the Defense of Marriage Act, implying perhaps that homosexuals who form a union commit an offense of marriage. But isn't a good offense the best defense? Who can say? Well, how about
Ian Scholes, having been responsible for more failed relationships than Mickey Rooney and Liz Taylor combined, it may not be appropriate for me to ask this, but who gave Congress the authority to declare what marriage is or is not? The question is pointless, I know. The so-called Defense of Marriage Act has passed. Congress has spoken. Under order of the federal government, gay people are now forbidden to love, honor, and obey each other until death do them part. Back to the disco, kids, where that darned homosexual lifestyle belongs. Did Congress act within its constitutional limits? Doesn't matter. All that matters is that Congress has once more played footsie with virtue at taxpayers' expense. Heterosexual voters supposedly take to this posturing like a duck takes to water, but let me ask you legitimately married citizens out there, does the Defense of Marriage Act really make you feel defended? If so, do you think the fortification between your marriage and the forces of fornication are high enough? Should we pass some more laws? How about toilet seat must be lowered after use under penalty of death? Not to sound too libertarian about this, but why do conservatives rail against the intrusion of big government into our lives and then waste government money big time drafting bonehead, intrusive legislation? They want to protect the institution of marriage, they say. Well, what threat do adult homosexuals pose to this institution? If they want to pledge fidelity to each other, who the hell are we to tell them they can't? And while we're on this hypocrisy bandwagon, Bob Dole took heat for telling the relentlessly perky Katie Couric that C. Everett Koop may have been brainwashed by the liberal media regarding the addictiveness of tobacco. Ever since then, a walking cigarette called Buttman has been dogging Dole's campaign. Is that what this campaign election is about? Which candidate hates smoking more? As an issue, isn't that kind of pathetic? Oh, Dole took tobacco money, I forgot, and the Democrats didn't. Hate to break it to you, but all candidates take money from anybody who's got some. They even take money from phone companies. Now, sure, it would be nice if puppy dogs and kitty cats had slush funds, but they don't. The relationship between a politician and a bag man greatly resembles adultery. Supposedly married to the American people, between elections anyway, he shamelessly flirts with anybody or anything with deep pockets. Not only that, he'll jump through any hoop they ask him. And what does he offer his poor, suffering spouse? A defense of marriage? That's like shooting the horse when the barn is on fire. No wonder the affections of the electorate are alienated, and voting seems like divorce. Politicians have got to stop catering to the silly whims of the marketplace and start obeying the silly whims back home. That means washing the dishes once in a while, taking out the garbage. Is that too much to ask? And don't smoke those things in the house. How many times do I have to tell you? I gotta go.
I don't know about the washing the dishes bit. No.
That's news for this half hour.
Coming up, more world news now. For some of you, world news this morning, or wash the dishes. I don't know,
yeah.
Feel like it.
Women and children are the fastest growing population in the HIV community. Hospital staff have little time and resources to spend with these children, but you can help by becoming a Northern Lights Children's Care volunteer. Northern Lights recruits and trains volunteers to bring love, care, and companionship to children with AIDS. Every child should have a friend, and children with AIDS have a greater need. If you have 3 hours a week to put a child first or can support us in any way, call 212-765-3202.
Here you go.
Thanks.
I travel a lot, but you don't have to play in the NBA to visit new places and meet new people. All you have to do is pick up a book, because when you know how to read, adventures come to you.
Today's story is Little Shaq Horner.
So no matter who you are or what you plan to do, learn how to read. It opens up a whole new world.
Shaq's gonna be some.
It's a good thing he doesn't play basketball.
Looking for a big Broadway musical loaded with big songs, big dances, and big fun? Well, your wish is granted. It's Big, the brand new musical hit the New York Times says gives you the helium high of a balloon flight. big. USA Today calls it the ideal family musical. 4 stars. And New York Magazine raves Big is Broadway's most original musical of the season. Big at the Schubert Theater. Get your tickets today and get ready to join in the fun. Now, Broadway's biggest musical has a big new offer for theater goers. When you call our special promotion hotline and buy full-price tickets, you'll get a complimentary souvenir book signed by the Broadway cast. This big value is yours while supplies last and only by calling our special phone number. Big at the Schubert Theater. Liz Smith says it has the best dancing on Broadway in a long, long time. Big is sheer theatrical happiness. Call our special hotline, 947-8844, and ask for the big book deal today.
We are your lucky number. Channel 7, your lottery station. Live.
Hello from New York, I'm Mark Mullen.
Good morning, everyone. It's Monday morning. The headlines at this hour: more American troops wait to go to the Persian Gulf, an imperfect attempt at democracy in Bosnia, and Nazi secrets still hidden in Swiss bank accounts. Also in this half hour, Bob Dole talks with Barbara Walters, and a business that gives new meaning to the word waterlogged. As always, we begin with the top of the news. Mark.
Thank you very much. Defense Secretary William Perry visits Turkey today in his continuing effort to win support for the U.S. mission in Iraq. He secured permission to base F-16 fighter jets in the Gulf state of Bahrain. And he is awaiting an answer from Kuwait on whether 3,000 U.S. troops can be sent there. Bill Brown of WFAA-TV reports those troops are standing by at Fort Hood, Texas.
While the politicians and the generals try to make up their minds, these soldiers follow orders. Without any final message, they have to assume they're going, so they're packing up. These men are with Charlie Battery, 82nd Field Artillery of the 1st Cavalry's 3rd Brigade Combat Team. Known as the Gray Wolves, this outfit had a proud record in the Persian Gulf War. They fire the big guns. Faced with all the uncertainties, a lot of the troopers here are actually hoping they do go, especially the younger ones who've never been to the Persian Gulf.
I'm just basically playing it by ear, and if we go, we'll go over there, take care of business, and come on back.
How's your wife taking this?
She's taking it kind of good, and she's like so-so.
What you say about your wife?
She's nervous. She don't want me to go, but I may be killed.
Gathered here are about 1,000 GIs, their wives, their husbands, their children, and their friends. It's a family support group. The mood is light, but clearly there is concern and some nervousness about what's to come.
That's the most aggravating part, not knowing when they're going or when they're coming back. But, you know, trying to stay positive.
Part of you wants to go, part of you doesn't want to go. So you miss your family. It's just you really wish you'd get the word.
I'm making him call his family and talk to all his family, and we've all been keeping in touch with the families, and so it's important, but I know he's coming back.
That report from Bill Brown of WFAA-TV.
The presidents of Bosnia and Serbia have agreed to sit down together for their first bilateral summit. They're still awaiting the results of Saturday's elections in Bosnia, the first since the war. ABC's Sheila McPicker reports from Bosnia.
As officials began counting some of the hundreds of thousands of votes, there are already complaints of election irregularities from Muslims and Serbs that could delay the results.
I always thought that after the elections we would be seeing the rusty artillery of appeal, abuse and criticism being wheeled out, and this seems to me to be part of that.
International observers have so far reported only isolated incidents of violence and intimidation, but fewer people went to the polls than expected. Organizers have planned for more than 100,000 refugees to cross the former confrontation lines to vote in their old homes. In the end, only a few thousand made the journey. In the town of Srebrenica, where Muslims were expelled and thousands massacred, the only voters were Serbs, and the Serbs said they wanted to elect a government that would make sure the Muslims never came back.
I want to live in my own state. We can be neighbors, but we must be independent.
The Muslims who survived what happened at Srebrenica were supposed to vote at this isolated polling station, down a muddy track an hour's drive from their town. But with the exception of officials, the polling station was deserted.
From 7 o'clock this morning, 18 people have voted. We were expecting 800.
For those Muslims that did board waiting buses and journey across the line, it was a trip that required courage. There was no excitement at the prospect of voting as they pointed out landmarks, old friends' houses, and wept at the destruction. Even with all the protection on the roads, most of those who had been forced from their homes decided it was still too risky to venture back to vote. And if they don't feel safe enough to vote, they won't feel safe returning to their old homes. What this election has done is demonstrate just how far from unity Bosnia's people are. Sheila McVicker, ABC News, Srebrenica.
Negotiators for Ford and the United Auto Workers are due back at the bargaining table this morning. They held marathon talks throughout the weekend before taking a break last night. Ford workers are expected on the job today, even though their contract expired Saturday night. There has been a general air of optimism from both sides that a new agreement can be reached without any sort of walkout.
More than 300 people have been arrested at a protest against planned logging in a redwood forest. Several thousand gathered at the edge of the ancient Headwaters Forest. That's 250 miles north of San Francisco. Singer Bonnie Raitt was among those charged with trespassing, as was her father, former Broadway star John Raitt. There are new allegations about Switzerland's role in the Second World War. A Swiss newspaper claims the Nazis made millions of dollars selling jewels stolen from Jews to dealers in Switzerland. That report follows allegations that Swiss banks profited from gold stolen by the Nazis. ABC's Nathan Thomas has that story.
It's being called the latest scandal from the Nazi era. Gold and other valuables, as much as $7 billion at today's rates, looted as Hitler's troops crossed Europe. Then sent to secret bank accounts in Switzerland, where much of it still remains, according to documents declassified by the British government. Hitler himself may have hidden the profits from his book Mein Kampf in one of 700 Swiss bank accounts set up by the Nazis. Much of the treasure was the personal wealth of Jewish victims of the Holocaust, who, as soon as the Nazis took over a town, were robbed before they were killed or sent to concentration camps.
Immediately, an order was given out that the Jews must bring over to the commandant of the town also gold and silver.
After the war, the Swiss turned over some $60 million to the governments of Britain, France, and the United States, but most of the Nazi treasure is believed to be still locked in Swiss vaults.
It's absolutely vital that all the governments concerned, the British government, our own, the Americans, the French, and above all the Swiss, cooperate now in finding the truth, in finding the loot, and then in returning it.
The Swiss say there's little they can do.
Apart from the fact what the origin of the gold was, it was extremely difficult at that time to establish clear figures, and it is even more difficult at this very moment.
But as more and more information is declassified, the pressure will build to find out what really happened to the Nazi treasure. Nathan Thomas, ABC News, London.
Time for the weather. It will be a wet day in the south and in the northwest and in New England. It's starting to feel like fall in some communities. Temperatures are dropping down to the 50s in the northwest, but in the south it will be mainly in the 70s and 80s, 90s in the desert southwest, which is a lot better than triple digits, which you all have been experiencing. World News Now National Temperature Index looks like this. Ghost towns now in Utah and some of your local forecasts.
Mister, we want you to know, think you're taking this about as far as it can go. It's about to blow. You got nowhere to run, why don't you sit back and watch the show? You used to drop your little darling off at Sunday school. Family values while you're getting some behind.
World News Now weather, brought to you by Mentadent Oral Care.
When your daughter wants it bad as
you. Well, it seems like almost every time you talk to our dad, he talks about teeth.
Open up and go, He'll do that a lot.
And he sent us that toothbrush.
Yeah. How was your toothbrush experience?
It really feels good. I mean, it's different.
This is the Oral Care Brush from Mentadent. It doesn't just clean teeth. It's designed to massage and stimulate your gums.
It felt like 1,000 little fingers massaging and tingling my gums.
You just brush and it gets up on that gum line on its own.
The Oral Care Brush from Mentadent.
How's your job?
Great. There's still a lot of stress, though.
You still getting those headaches?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually went to the doctor. I thought they might be migraines. He said they weren't. He told me to take Tylenol, extra strength.
Tylenol? Not some prescription, huh?
The Tylenol works great, Dad.
More than aspirin, more than ibuprofen. For headaches, doctors recommend Tylenol the most.
You should have come to work for me, Julie.
Oh, sure. No stress there.
I eat when I get stressed, and not very good food. I gained weight. I tried every diet known to man. What I found with the Slim Fast plan was that it was easy. I lost 18 pounds on one shake a day. With Slim Fast, you'd put it in your bag, that's lunch, that's it. I love the milk chocolate. It tastes like a creamy milkshake.
19 essential vitamins and minerals, protein, calcium, and carbohydrates, all the balanced nutrition like a healthy meal.
Maybe that's why I feel so good. I like this thin feeling.
Slim Fast, balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
This is a court-ordered legal announcement. Persons who have ever had a surgical implant may be affected by the Dow Corning bankruptcy and should call 1-800-997-1700 for an information package and claim form. Even if you do not have a problem with your implant, to preserve your rights now and in the future, you must file a claim to be received by January 15th, 1997. Call toll-free 1-800-997-1700.
I can't get my kids to eat right. All they want is junk food. One way to give them extra nutrition is with rich chocolate Ovaltine. It's got vitamins Nestle Quick and Hershey's don't.
Rich chocolate Ovaltine in the new blue package. Tastes great. Great for you.
Johnson & Johnson, I think that's more like a baby powder. I just put on the Gold Bond powder and it has that medicated feeling.
Unlike ordinary powders, Triple Action Gold Bond medicates, absorbs, and dries.
I lost the itch right away.
Triple Action Gold Bond, more than a powder, it's medication.
That ended up being sort of a familiar scene throughout the game. At Seattle, the Kansas City Chiefs remained undefeated at the expense of the winless Seahawks. Cornerback Dale Carter moved to wide receiver this week, and he caught the first 3 passes of his NFL career, including this 46-yard touchdown from Steve Bono. Marcus Allen became the 8th player in NFL history to rush for 11,000 yards. That one around the side. He scored 2 TDs and is now just 5 rushing touchdowns away from Walter Payton's all-time record. Chiefs beat Seattle 35-17. Chicago, Warren Moon returned from ankle injuries to lead the Vikings past the Bears. Moon missed a game and a half, but he threw for 239 yards yesterday, including this 29-yard TD to Jake Reed as the Vikings stayed perfect at 3-0, beating Chicago 20-14. You know, scoring touchdowns, hitting homers, and jam and slam dunks aren't the only hard job in sports. Try being a team mascot. It's a lot of work, but Bob Boudreau of Houston station KTRK found some folks who actually want the job.
At the deep, throw center. Here's Greer. Wait, center shot. Score!
For 2 years, the Houston Aeros hockey team has had excitement, scoring, fights, fans, everything but an official mascot. Problem solved quicker than a slap shot. These folks, a trio of them, are the finalists to wear the still unrevealed costume. Wearing costumes of their own, these folks gamely suited up for the skate-off, one at a time.
So the 2 that are not competing right now want to go out into the main lobby.
Each of the 3 had previous mascot experience and was expected to blow his, or in the case of the skating steer, her own horn. Laura Tibbetts had been the Longhorn mascot at UT.
I just graduated in May, so I'm looking for professional work in the same field.
Had you ever skated before?
For about a week.
And it showed. As was the case with all 3, skating was something new and challenging.
I'm used to doing it in stands, out on ground, solid, but now it's on ice, and it's totally different, adding new things to it.
Had you skated before?
Recreational, very lightly, but I'm learning, so, you know, in costume, you could play a lot of things off.
It also didn't hurt to be a little
crazy. I'll do just about anything for a laugh, and just like to have a good time.
That's a little harder than it looks. Skating in the big head here. We don't know who's going to be inside the big head when they finally unveil it. October 5th, that's the home opener for the Houston Aeros, when the whole new look for the mascot will be unveiled. That's October 5th. I'm trying out right now. I'm Bob Boudreau, 13 Eyewitness News. All right, here we go.
Bob's pretty good in the pig head. That's sports for this half hour.
It's World News Now.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Sunjet, shining brighter every day, presents this season's travel forecast. Clear skies and low fares on Sunjet. Call 1-800-4SUNJET and join the thousands who are saving hundreds of dollars on airfares. On Sunjet, you can fly from New York via Newark to Orlando from just $79. New York to Tampa St. Pete for just $79. And New York to Fort Lauderdale is also just $79. Seats are limited, so call 1-800-4SUNJET to reserve yours. Sunjet, we're shining brighter every day.
WABC TV and Light FM are joining the American Cancer Society in making strides against breast cancer. Sunday, October 20th, walks will be held in 6 area locations. They include Manhattan Central Park, Borough Hall in Queens, Long Island's Jones Beach, Liberty State Park in New Jersey, Rockwood Hall in Westchester, and the Woodbury Common Outlet in Hudson Valley. Join us on Sunday, October 20th, and help us make strides against breast cancer. For details, call 1-800-ACS-2345.
Let me just say at the outset that I had a wonderful, fun weekend. I hope you did too. But somehow, some information seeped into my gray matter. Now, one reason, I had to do some research for an upcoming interview. Another reason, some television ads, which surprised me actually, ads targeted at women, blacks, and young people. These ads admonish viewers to exercise their rights as citizens and to vote in the presidential election. Not enough Americans vote. Only about 34% in the 94 congressional elections, just more than 50% in the last presidential contest. All that from the research. Let us help. Actually, Barbara Walters provides some insight into one of the candidates, Bob Dole, part of their conversation from 2020.
Is Bill Clinton trying to usurp the Republican views and policies?
I think he's reached an art form. I mean, whether it's welfare reform or whether it's tax cuts or whatever it might be, a balanced budget. I think he's been very adaptable.
How is your philosophy different? What is so different now between the two of you?
I think it's sort of basic, and I really believe when President Clinton stands up and talks about what he's accomplished, most of it involves the government, the federal government. He trusts more in the government. I trust more in states and the people.
How important is it for a president to be a role model?
I think it's important. If you want to look somebody in the eye and talk about whether it's drugs or crime or smoking cigarettes, or particularly young people, because young people sort of yearn for, maybe hero is not the right word, but for Colin Powells in America, somebody they can look up to. And whether it's President Clinton or President Bob Dole or President somebody else, I think it has big impact, big impact.
Is Bill Clinton a role model?
Well, I'm not going to be judgmental. I think to some he certainly is. Others he may not be. But I think the record reflects I've never gone out, attacked President Clinton's character, never said anything about any personal problems.
President and Mrs. Clinton have said that the Whitewater investigations were politically motivated, Republican politically motivated. Do you think that's the case?
I don't think that's the case because they really originated in Arkansas. I mean, it didn't originate in Washington, D.C. I think when they started bubbling, they were bubbling in the last election.
Senator, let's discuss some of the more controversial issues. Most experts say that you cannot balance the budget and keep interest rates from rising and have a 15% tax cut without cutting entitlements, Social Security, your mother's great fear, right. Medicare, and you're not going to cut entitlements.
That's true.
So specifically, what are you going to cut? You're going to cut defense?
Defense, probably not. I think we ought to eliminate the Department of Education.
That'll save some, but not enough to make up
save a lot of money. We'll send some of that money back to local school districts. Department of Energy will save money. Jack Kemp, my running mate, was Secretary of HUD. He says, we don't need HUD. Some of the good programs you spin off.
Where's the biggest cut going to be?
It's going to be freezing what we call non-defense discretionary spending, what we call a real freeze. Pretty much what President Clinton proposes in his budget. So it's not that much different. And I assume before we reach the final wire on November 5, he'll be out advocating a tax cut pretty much like ours.
Really? He says he isn't.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's sort of the Me Too If Bob Dole's for it, I'm for it. And my view is, well, if he's for everything I'm for, then why shouldn't I be president?
Well, assault weapons, they are now banned. Do you want to have this ban repealed?
I've said I don't think it's necessary.
It's not necessary to repeal it?
No.
Senator, you are pro-life. That is, you are against abortion, except in the case of rape, incest, and the life of the mother. Would judges you appointed have to be pro-life?
I don't think so. My view is that I want conservative judges who will interpret the Constitution, not try to distort it, twist it, bend it.
What do you think is the greatest threat to this country, either from abroad or internally?
I think the greatest internal threat now had to be drugs.
What is the greatest threat to this country from abroad?
I think the greatest threat from abroad is the lack of a missile defense system in America, because we have these outlaw nations that have missiles. If you ask the average viewer of this program, if a missile is coming toward, let's say, Santa Barbara, California, what should the president do? And they say, shoot it down. We do not have the capability.
Would you have this kind of a program if you're president?
I'll have it much sooner than President Clinton will have it. I think he feels that there's no threat for 15 years.
Would Colin Powell have a place in your cabinet? Would
Any place he wanted.
Really? Any place he wants?
Well,
Colin Powell can have any position in the cabinet that he wants?
I'd almost get in mine.
Listen, he almost ran for you.
I know, he might have had it.
Why not lay out your cabinet in advance? There's some very good people. Wouldn't that be helpful?
I mean, I want people to see the contrast. I want American people to know that I'm not threatened by somebody who has greater knowledge in a certain area. I want people with greater knowledge. And certainly Colin Powell is in that category, and there are others out there in that category.
Dick Cheney?
Dick Cheney's remarkable. We have some outstanding governors.
Jim Baker?
John Engler, Governor Engler, Governor Thompson. When it comes to welfare, these are pioneers.
So we may be seeing these people in your cabinet?
It's likely. Possible, put it that way.
Could you finish this sentence for me? I, Robert Dole, want to be President of the United States because...
Well, because I really think we are headed in the wrong direction. And I've had a lot of experiences in my life, good and bad and mixed. And I've made tough decisions. I think Bob Dole is somebody who can work with Democrats and Republicans in Congress. I think my head's screwed on right. I don't have any radical ideas. I'm not going to take people over the edge. It's going to be my agenda. But above all, provide the leadership. Provide the leadership from the White House that people can say, well, I don't agree with Bob Dole and everything, but I think he's doing the best he can.
What would you like your mark to be, the mark of your presidency?
I think if they put it on your epitaph and your tombstone, Bob Dole trusted the people.
That was some of Friday's 2020, and Barbara Walters, of course, has done an interview with President and Mrs. Clinton as well, and that will be run next week, and I'm sure we'll run excerpts of that.
You're watching ABC's World News Now.
Why pour, measure, lug, splash, and push to clean your hardwood floors when there's Mop & Glow Hardwood Floor Cleaner? Just squirt and mop. No dulling residue, no rinsing. It couldn't be easier. Mop & Glow Hardwood Floor Cleaner. One step and it's clean. And for no wax and regular floors, try Mop & Glow Floor Shine. It seals out dirt to make cleaning easier.
Lysol spray use number 99. Junior's first night without a diaper. New crisp linen scent Lysol disinfectant spray. There's nothing this can't do.
My 6-month-old had a red irritated diaper rash.
Now your baby can get relief from diaper rash with Baby Gold Bond medicated powder.
I bought Baby Gold Bond powder and I applied it to the rash, and it worked. It helped clear the rash.
Baby Gold Bond's dual action formula relieves and soothes diaper rash with a medically proven ingredient and absorbs moisture. Used every day, it helps prevent diaper rash.
I like Baby Gold Bond because it's medicated. It's great. I use it all the time.
Use Baby Gold Bond medicated powder every day.
Dear Mom, camp is rough. Being out in the wild sure makes a kid hungry. But the sandwiches we got just aren't enough. It makes me homesick for you and a hot bowl of Campbell's tomato soup.
Nothing turns an ordinary sandwich into a hot, satisfying meal like rich, wholesome Campbell's tomato soup.
Mom?
I brought you something for those sandwiches.
Wow, tomato soup. You're the best, Mom.
Campbell's makes everything
better.
No matter what size fax you send, no matter where in the world you send it, AT&T guarantees it'll get there. Because now, AT&T has 70% more international routes, which means more ways to get around trouble and more ways to steer clear of danger. So your international fax gets through. No matter where in the world you send it. Guaranteed network reliability at a competitive price, only from AT&T for the life of your business.
I can't get my kids to eat right. All they want is junk food.
Yeah. Do they like chocolate milk?
Sure.
One way to give them extra nutrition is with rich chocolate Ovaltine. It's got vitamins Nestle Quick and Hershey's don't.
Yeah, it may be good for them, but will they like it?
My kids love it. They absolutely love it.
So my kids will like Ovaltine and it's good for them? Wow.
When my kids want chocolate milk, it's rich chocolate Ovaltine.
Rich chocolate Ovaltine in the new blue package. Tastes great. Great for you.
Well, some of the finest furniture and most beautiful woodwork is made from the trees that were growing on this continent before Europeans arrived. Wood from dense first growth forests is harder and finer grained. But there are serious environmental concerns about cutting old trees that remain. ABC's Ron Claiborne tells us about a story of an entrepreneur who found another kind of deep woods.
Scott Mitchin is hunting for sunken treasure, but not coins or gems. He's searching for wood. Mitchin is bringing up logs from the bottom of Lake Superior, logs that are very old and very valuable.
The average log is probably going to be about 400 years since it was a seedling. But we're getting some that were seedlings 200 years before Columbus got here.
In the 1800s, loggers clear-cut ancient slow-growth trees, birch, hemlock, oak, and maple, that once covered this country. Logs were brought to booming sawmill towns like Ashland, Wisconsin.
Millions of logs were corralled in front of the many sawmills that lined this bay. But before all of them could be milled, hundreds of thousands of them became soaked and sank.
There they remained, perfectly preserved by the lake's icy waters, until Mitchin, a professional treasure hunter, and his partners realized those logs were worth a lot of money. The underwater logs are thicker, richer, and tighter grained than trees growing today. A single top-quality log now fetches as much as $10,000.
Grandma's old 125-year-old hutch that's in Grandma's house right now. It's an antique. Our wood is from the same cut that they used to build that hutch.
The wood is also coveted by artisans like Greg Pilot, whose customers admire its richness and its history.
They're very attracted to the carvings on their own without even knowing what wood was used. But when they hear the story, then they're locked right in. Tell me more, tell me more.
Mitchin's underwater logging operation is on the verge of becoming very big and very profitable. By next year, he hopes to be bringing up 100 logs a day, and there's enough under the lake to keep logging for decades without cutting down a single tree. Ron Claiborne, ABC News, Ashland, Wisconsin.
I think that's
what was
just,
that?
I don't know. I think that's fascinating. That wood is beautiful.
The fish or the wood?
Both.
All right, that's news for this half hour.
This is World News Now.
Meet Together, the world's largest personal introduction service.
This seemed to be a very appropriate style for me, is just to come home and have an introduction in the mail for me instead of another bill. I called him first this time, and he wasn't home. I got his answering machine, and even his voice sounded great.
There's a Together office near you. Call today.
Hi. Not much of a breakfast there.
No.
Would you ever think about having breakfast for lunch or breakfast for dinner?
Man, are you crazy? No, lunch is lunch.
Did you know that IHOP serves breakfast all day long?
All day long?
Yeah, you can get the big 2-egg breakfast for $3.99. It comes with eggs, 2 bacon and 2 sausage, hash browns and buttermilk pancakes for $3.99. So what about breakfast for dinner?
I never I never had it, but it sounds good. Could be.
The talk of the town. My grandmother prayed for me is back.
Everybody needs to see this show because it's a message in this show for everybody.
I don't need drugs to get high. I can get high off of Jesus.
I thought it was great and every young person should see it because it's very educational.
Hardcore is putting your nose in the book trying to get an education, bro.
It was touching, blissful, and everybody should be thankful if you got a grandmother.
Coming to the Beacon Theater, October 1st through 13th. Tickets on sale now.
If you need a Visa credit card, we have a special offer just for you. We guarantee to give you a credit card with no security deposit required, regardless of your past credit history. Almost everyone will be approved for a Visa card, even if you've been turned down before. If you meet our minimum requirements, your approval is guaranteed. Our offer is for an unsecured credit card. This means that you're not required to send in a security deposit. Don't miss this limited offer to obtain a Visa card with no security deposit. Call our number now. An application will be sent to you immediately.
Channel 7 Eyewitness News, where the news comes first.
This is Monday, September the 16th, and in the news this morning, the shuttle Atlantis has a primary mission: bring home Shannon Lucid. The Defense Secretary tries to round up support for the U.S. mission in Iraq, and the Cowboys boot a last chance at victory over the Colts.
From ABC News, this is World News This Morning. Here's Thalia Assuras.
Good morning, everyone. Astronaut Shannon Lucid is in the final days of her history-making space mission. The shuttle Atlantis lifted off this morning.
1. We have booster ignition and liftoff of Atlantis on the 4th flight to dock with the Russian space station.
Atlantis will bring Lucid home from the Russian space station Mir. She has been on board since March. And when Atlantis returns to Earth a week from Thursday, Lucid will have spent a record-breaking 188 days in space. ABC's Carla Davis joins us from the Kennedy Space Center this morning after having watched the launch. And Carla, this is a record-breaking mission for Shannon Lucid, and a long time coming, this return home.
That's right, but she didn't intend it to be that way. They tried twice to get Atlantis up, to get Shannon Lucid, but bad weather and mechanical problems caused delays. But finally today, with that blinding light and that deafening roar, the Atlantis took off just about 6 minutes and 45 seconds ago.
Okay, well, Shannon Lucid is going to have to wait a few more days to come back to return home on Atlantis. Tell us a bit about some of the challenges she's going to face.
She's going to have to, first of all, deal with gravity. She's been in a near weightlessness situation for 6 months now. She's going to have problems with muscle control, perhaps. She's also going to suffer a loss of red blood cells, some dizziness, and also just the emotional impact of